And welcome back to Late Night Glass Ceiling Sports on ESPN. With 20 seconds left on the clock, we've got a tie game and things are tense as Joan of Arc lines up to take the hut. And there it is. Joan peels back looking for a receiver downfield. Ooh, and just avoids the sack by Emma Watson. Nellie McClung is struggling to get at Joan, but is being held up by Octavia Butler. There's the throw downfield to Geraldine Ferrero, who makes the catch and is gone. But bearing down on her is Mary Wollstonecraft, who strips the ball away. We have a bouncing ball, ladies and gentlemen, and Sojourner Truth and Afra Bain are scrambling to recover it. What's this, though? Susan B. Anthony has it. She's running at the 40, the 30, the 20. Oprah tries a late tackle but misses. Touchdown! Oh, Susan B. Anthony wins it for her team and her gender. That's it for Late Night Glass Ceiling Sports on ESPN. Tune in tomorrow for male sports all day. We watched A League of Their Own, and she's the man.
The French champagne.
Can you tell me which members of the Reservoir Dogs you two are currently dressed as?
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Classic Spielberg.
Classic Spielberg.
He needs to kill 94 different 65-year-old men over 2.5 years because those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Shake it! Shake it!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is... Thank you, Sean. I want you to know that I really barely followed that.
Good.
Yeah, that entire thing went right over my head until you said Oprah, and then it kind of clicked in for me.
Yeah, I smiled at Oprah for sure.
Well,
Emma Watson, I know her. That's Hermione.
All right. Anyone who knows the waves of feminism will click in. They'll understand it. So, yeah. Okay, yes. And we got a no. we got a shaken head no on this audio format. Great.
Well, I didn't want to admit to no, and I hadn't spoken yet, so I wasn't sure if I was allowed to speak yet. So I just shook my head.
Yeah.
Let it be known on this podcast, the men will let you know. Okay.
On this particular podcast.
I'm going to cut myself off already. Okay, so welcome to Citizen Kane Versus, where we compare a movie that is considered to be more on the classic side with a movie that's more on the schlocky side, and we ask ourselves honestly, which is better? My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined as usual by my two friends, one,
Sean Jacqueline,
and the other,
Daniel Benoit.
And if you're watching us on the YouTubes today, you'll see that joining Daniel Benoit in his frame is his lovely partner, Marisa McIntyre. Hi, Marisa.
Hello. I'm so honored to be here. I've been hearing the podcast through the door of our second bedroom for a year now.
Woo! Our partners love that we do this hobby podcast.
Yeah.
I love it most of the time. Some of the movies I have not loved.
What's your favorite movie so far?
What's your top and bottom
chose.
movies that you've had to watch? Actually,
bottom would be that the space one with John Travolta.
Oh, Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth.
That thing I will never get my life back.
Thank you.
That.
We're in the same thought about that. Yeah.
That like sticks. That sticks out.
I would watch that movie 5 times today.
It's so good.
Fantastic.
It's so good.
No, I think the best was, see, I'm terrible with names. It was okay. The one about the kids basketball team.
MVP 2.
But the good version, the classic.
Fuck you, Jack.
Coach Carter.
Yes, Coach Carter.
Coach Carter was your favorite one?
It's the first one that came to mind that I actually liked.
We never released that one, so
yeah,
people who are regular listeners, that was our trial episode. Yeah.
I liked that one.
You really liked Grapes of Wrath.
Did I? What was that one about?
Black and white, socialism.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Actually, I did think that was cool. I really like the old ones because I feel like I'm learning something, growing as a person.
There's a little more substance.
Yeah, I like when you guys force me to watch movies I wouldn't normally watch.
Like
most
Ben-Hur?
of the time.
Did you love that?
I actually walked in halfway through I didn't have time to watch the whole thing with him, and then I was walking by and I got caught up and started watching it. So I guess I did.
I'm going to make that into an audio clip that we use as like an ad for this show. Just you saying, I like when they forced me to watch a movie that I wouldn't normally watch. Because that's like half of the pitch of this podcast is like,
Well, it's cool.
it's either like, do you think that movie you like is good, the podcast? Or is it like, maybe try watching this movie this week, the podcast?
No, I
Like,
think
essentially-
I think the first one's the best pitch. Do you like that movie that you already have watched 7 times?
Yeah.
Well,
Do you want us to tell you some stuff you already know?
We'll tell you why it's shit.
yeah, we're going
And you
to
should
tell
feel
you.
bad.
We're going to tell you that National Treasure is better.
They'll never forgive us.
Which it was. It was better, Sean.
It was empirically so. It was decided. So, also, before we get into any more nitty gritties, I'm going to really quickly just say thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Follow us on anything. We have a Twitter at Citizen Kane VS. We have an Instagram at Citizen Kane VS Podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on all kinds of stuff. So any way that you want to share and spread the love, thank you so much. But most of all, if you know Carrie Elways, like Marisa has been dying for Carrie Elways to come on the show, and it would just break her heart if that never happens. So please use the hashtag Come On Carrie, because we want to come on the show, and that's the only way to read that hashtag. Yeah. So that's just mainly the most important thing, you know. So hashtag Come On Carrie, hashtag Citizen Kane VS, bada bing, bada boom, off we go.
I realized that I said hello and just immediately started going on a tangent and never actually said my name. So now they're saying Marisa, and they're like, "Who's Marisa?"
Jack,
I said your name.
You said his partner.
He said Marisa McIntyre.
Okay, I'm just losing my mind. So
I mean. Admittedly,
really, this is just a ploy for you to say my name again because I really want to like bump up.
And who are you represented by?
I can't do it.
Noble Kaplan Abrams. We have. Is that it?
Yes.
I do know. See, look at that.
Rock on.
Shout out hashtag Noble Kaplan Abrams.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
okay,
yeah, that
sure.
works.
They're gonna be like,
Your union. Are you allowed to be on this show?
are you
I
allowed
got
to?
special privileges. You just have to put an
podcasts are
asterisk
outside.
beside my name. It's fine.
All right. You're not allowed to be on YouTube because that's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, Dan,
No, I don't think.
Yeah.
do you have some, as we call them in the Latin tongue, summarinos for us?
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Latin again. Do you want to hit us with those?
Yeah.
Boy, we're batting 100 over here.
Damn.
Studiers of the dictionary in that household.
Yeah. Bring Evie on.
Okay.
All right. Settle down, folks. Settle down. Bell media. Okay, ready?
What was the bell meeting? Okay.
Trying to get sponsored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry. Gotcha. Okay.
In the red corner, representing the classics, a pretty dairy farmer who uses her splits to make women's baseball a household game while all the male players are off killing Nazis. Coming in at 128 minutes, starring Gina Davis and Tom Hanks, A League of Their Own. And in the blue corner, representing the schlock, a young girl who sets out to prove that she's just as good at soccer as any boy by disguising herself as her twin brother and joining his school soccer team so she can beat her own, probably causing some serious sexual confusion for her dorm mate in the process. Coming in at 105 minutes, starring Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum, she's the man. Women.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, let's get some feminism up in here. And then I couldn't admit that I had no idea what you were talking about, Sean, because it just completely kiboshed.
Hey, feminism is not a structured thing. It is purely an ideological belief. So more power to you, sister.
So there's like no, what you're saying is there's no winning and losing or failing.
And there's no crying in baseball.
That's the main thing.
That's the line.
Yeah.
Did you know this? I didn't tell you, but that's like that line is one of the most famous lines in movie.
Yeah. History.
There's no.
That's one of the most famous lines in movie
It's
history.
very famous.
There's
sure.
no
Yeah.
crying in baseball?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck me. I didn't know that.
I know. I didn't tell you because I was going to tell you on the podcast and then get
Whoa.
the reaction. See,
Nice.
She's good. She's
saving
good.
it for the pod.
Shoehorn. Marisa also found another culturally relevant, famous line that she swears is taken from A League of Their Own.
what are you talking about?
Check your notes.
Shoehorn. We did a whole thing about this before the
shit.
podcast.
No, but what am I supposed to say?
Classic. Yeah. Classic you too.
This is almost as good as the
no.
dialogue in She's the Man.
No, but that's supposed to happen later when we're talking about the soundtrack. I will shoehorn then.
All right.
All right, we can
Well,
save the
let's dive in.
shoehorns for later.
That was a perfect segue.
But first of all, and again, Marisa was kind enough to volunteer these movies for the podcast this week, which was great. Had you seen both of these movies before you pitched them?
Yes. I was trying to find a movie that you guys that wasn't too like overtly like a chick flick that had absolutely no credibility. It was kind of hard to find. I won't say a classic, but one that
This is classic.
it is a classic.
Oh, yeah.
So I
yeah.
tried to do it with like men in mind and also not too heavy-handed on the feminism. So they weren't just like bleeding. You know, we weren't just talking about periods and like, you know what I mean? Just like more lighthearted feminism.
Fair enough. But there is a fair amount of like. Aaron and I like to have a conversation sometimes when movies or TV shows are incredibly heavy-handed with to a point where it's patronizing with their "see women can do things," and we turn to each other and say, "Women do things." And these films mostly avoided the like "women do things" that it could the places that could have gone for that. So
The Citizen Kane of the week is